everyone. Good afternoon, respected teacher, beloved student, proud parents and family, also special guests. Welcome to Cikal Talk 29. During the last day of Cikal Playground of Learning journey, hope that it won't reduce our spirits. Before we start the session, let's watch our video teaser right here. Okay, so let's check this out first.
Wah, ada playground lagi di Cikal.
Beneran?
Anak kita akan menampilkan hasil belajarnya selama 1 tahun ini.
Dan akan ada kegiatan juga yang menarik, kreatif, dan seru yang bisa kita ikuti.
Semuanya secara virtual.
Pastikan untuk nonton, untuk melihat keseruan anak-anak ya.
Hanya di
Playground of Learning Journey.
Physically distant, virtually connected.
Sambut mentari, nyalakan layar, belajar lagi.
Sudah rindu kembali ke sekolah, tak sabar ingin segera bertemu lagi. Meskipun jauh namun di hati, tawa candamu selalu temani. Meski tak langsung menatapmu kawan, semangat belajarku takkan pernah padam. Walau hanya di rumah saja, takkan padam semangat di jiwa. Perjalanan yang ku lalui, kan ku bagi kisahnya denganmu nanti.
Okay, what a joyful song, yeah, guys. By the way, guys, in these sessions, I am Miss Rima. I will be the moderator, and we are going to have few students with different topics from Sekolah Cikal Surabaya. Okay, so let's start with the first student, Zilika Sarah Abeata. Let's welcome Abe. Hello, Abe.
Hello.
Okay, good afternoon, Abe.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so time and place are welcome for you, Abe.
Okay, so hello, my name is Lucas Abeta, better known as Abe, and I am one of the members of Team C's Year 8's Cikal Aksi Aksi project. For this new project for our Cikal Aksi Aksi, we teamed up with SMPN 7 Magelang, and today I'll tell you the journey of us making this project. So before we start to choose our topic, we did a little discussion about the problem we're having, either it is us, our environment related to online learning during the global pandemic as a student. Of course, we all have different problems. Some are the same, some are different than the others, but I've noticed some similarities when it comes to the problem, and that was having stress and also tired due to the amount of work we need to do. And some of us might have connection problems, so it's really hard to understand what is the teacher explaining to us. And I'm one of those students. Then from that idea, I and my teammate decided to make a little project that maybe can help the other student on how to vent their stress, sort of like a meditation. After discussing for a while, we decided to make a fun art contest, thinking like, oh, what if we make an art contest so the Magalang students can show their creativity and emotion that they cannot always show to tell us, sort of like a meditation. From there, everybody agrees and we'll do an art competition before we made our proposal. We had an idea to conduct an art exhibition too. So it's like an art contest and also an art exhibition. So our friend from Magalang and our school can see the other's artwork and the story behind it. But as soon as after the idea is cancelled due to time limits we had is such in hurry, we only have like a few days to do the contest. And after discussing a lot, we decided that our end project will be only a fun little contest. And after we started that this is our final idea, we finished our proposal and revised it. And after finishing our proposal and social media account and poster, we had our presentation where we share about our competition to the Maglang students and teacher, hoping that some of them will join our competition. And after a few days waiting, there are still a few students who join our competition. And again, we waited until the day we will announce who will be the winner. And at that time, we discussed about who will be the first place winner and who's the second, who's the third. And after finishing the project, it's actually a relief for us because we're like, oh, it's done. It's finally over. We're not really that stressed anymore. Though the process didn't go as smoothly as we thought it will be. So the first problem is that some of our teammate members will not show up and it's hard to contact. So when we need them, we need to spam their like private message or no, we need to call them. I even emailed some of them. And we even need to ask our teacher to call them. So it's very hard for us to discuss together as a whole group at that time. So then our second problem is that our planning didn't go like what we thought before. Like I said, we had some changes in our idea, and the problem is the changes is actually told that like a few days, not a few days, more like 4 until 3 days before the contest started, like that we need to cut down our time because we only have limited timing. So we rushed to finish our proposal, revise it, fix our posters, and then our teacher, they help us. And also our last problem is that we only just had a few contestants, and I mean a few contestants is only 2 contestants. As the member who runs our social media account, I was a bit scared that we will not get any contestant, but in the end, thank God, there are people who join our contest. Aside from all the problems, we think that we have fun. Like, I personally feel that I got closer to my friends since we don't really talk to each other since the pandemic, and then we talked a lot. We discussed a lot as a teammate, as a group, and it really helped. So thank you, and that was my journey.
Okay. Okay. For those who didn't know, this Cikal Aksesi program is program in the form of service learning where students from all sides of Sekolah Cikal Surabaya learn to contribute to the society. So on the last occasion, Abe and her teams collaborate with SMPN 7 Magelang to create activity that was considered to be a solution, yeah, for students during a pandemic era. So it's about a fun art competition, right? So
Yes.
Abe, can you explain about the picture that has been appeared before? Is
So
it the
yeah,
work?
that was
Yeah. Is it
that
the work
was
from the
yeah,
contact time?
yeah, it was the work from our two contestants, Joanne and Fatin. They were such nice person. So as a person who talks to them, who like consulted them that, oh, you need to do this, to join our contest. I was a bit stressed and scared, but thank God that they were so kind to me. So I'm like, phew, this is gonna go smooth, go better.
Okay. So are you still communicating with them? I
Um,
mean, what are you guys talking about? Is it only about your project, or do you guys talk about anything outside your project, maybe?
um, right now, I don't talk to them that much. We only talk about our project. We also had some like little chit chat about their artwork and about this competition. So it's I don't talk to them that much like for right now.
Okay. So for right now, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
But
for now.
uh, did you really enjoy collaborating with them?
I do enjoy collaborating with them. I met new friends. I experienced new things. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that was from Abe, yeah, guys. What meaningful and impactful experience from Abe. So we are going to move to our second speaker. We have Ayunda Damai with her language topic. Hello, Damai. How are you doing?
Hi, Miss. I'm good.
Okay. Are you ready to talk?
Yes, I am ready.
Okay. Time and place are welcome for you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Damai from Year 9 Sekolah Cikal Surabaya. And today I will be sharing about my learning journey in making a literary analysis about The Giver by Louis Laurie in English literature class. Before that, I think there should be a slide that shows up first before I continue. Okay, so next slide. So first, I think I must introduce you to the book itself. So The Giver is a dystopian novel published in 1993. And like a lot of other dystopian novels, the story deals with authoritarian government, it deals with oppression, and it also debates the importance of free will versus the importance of stability. But there are still some elements that differentiate this book from other dystopian novels, such as the removal of the concept of colors, the removal of pain, emotion, and past, And at the same time, the characters in this book also have an obligation to communicate precisely or have precision of language. And this is all done in order to minimize the chances of the citizen to have any individuality. So, long story short, the main character, Jonas, who gains awareness about the oppression, he tries to save his community from it. So now, from the elements I've mentioned, there are actually a lot of interesting things that can be discussed further. But for my assignment, I focused on analyzing the precision of language part in the story because it plays a huge part in shaping and for me in understanding the social structure and also the power control happening. Next slide. I first had the idea to analyze the language part when I saw this YouTube video. And I know it is a little bit different from what I'm actually analyzing, but this was a good first references for me because the video explains about how Himba people from Namibia, they have more words to differentiate different shades of green, but they don't have any separate word for blue. So, as a result, in an experiment about language and color perception, Himba people can easily differentiate the shades of green on the left image, something that we probably couldn't do so easily, but it is a little longer for them to notice the blue on the right image. Next slide. So after I watched that video, I thought and I asked myself basically, if language can affect and perhaps even manipulate our perception of color, then surely a specific use of everyday language can affect how we perceive our reality, right? Because in understanding the rights and the wrongs, we need language to describe that. Also, in differentiating normality and abnormality in our daily life. And the second inquiry question was, can language be used by the authoritarian government in the book to control its people? Next slide. So from those two inquiry questions, I made this video analysis for Ujian Sekolah last month. However, because of the time limit, I will not be playing the full video. This is only the 1 minute version. Meanwhile, the link for the full one can be shared in the comment section later. The Giver by Louis Laurie is a dystopian novel published in 1993. The story is about Jonas, a young boy who is chosen as the next receiver of memory in this community. The job allows him to discover the past and the secrets in this community. From there, he also understood that the concept of sameness that is implemented by the government restricts everyone from being a true individual, as they lack emotions, free will, and the memories of the past. So, in the final parts of the book, Jonas attempts to go to elsewhere in order to bring these people their rights. This is something that is taught to the children in the community. They are not allowed to say anything contrary to what they are thinking about or even exaggerate their situation. For example, let's take a look at this passage from page 70 until 71. Once, when he had been a 4, he had said, just prior to the midday meal at school, "I'm starving." Immediately he had been taken aside for a brief private lesson in language precision. He was not starving, it was pointed out. He was hungry. No one in the community was starving, had ever been starving, would ever be starving. To say starving was to speak a lie, an unintentional one, of course. But the reason for precision of language was to ensure that unintentional lies were never uttered. So that is the 1 minute video. I hope you can also access the full video one based on this link if any of you are interested. Next slide. So I have learned a lot from the process of making the video and also the analysis. And a main part of it is, of course, in understanding more about the theories I used for the analysis. And at first, I actually almost used B.F. Skinner, the American psychologist theory about operant conditioning, to explain the impact of language and punishment to the community's behavior. But after that, I settled with Foucault's theories, discourse, and power knowledge because it can explain the general situation a little bit better, in my opinion. So, based on what I have learned, I understand that discourse is a set of knowledge or understanding that is widely believed as the truth in a society. It functions to produce meaning from specific words. As I said before, helps us to differentiate the rights from the wrongs, and it can be a tool to either unify or control a society, or maybe both. Meanwhile, power knowledge it is a term that shows how power is gained from understanding knowledge or the existing discourse. But at the same time, power can also be used to reproduce or even manipulate existing knowledge. Next slide. And in the book, the widely believed understanding or the discourse that is introduced to the citizens is sameness, that a perfect life must be balanced and in order, and it must have stability. And as I said in the earlier part of my presentation, it is implemented by the government from the removal of color, pain, and past, as well as the precision of language. And based on my analysis, this precision of language makes the citizens unable to think outside of anything that is taught to them from the government controlled schools or education. Next slide. Other than the theories, I also learned a lot from the video making process. The first one is in understanding how to make and manage scripts. So after many trials and errors, this is how I ended up managing it. The first one is from the scene number. It's pretty self-explanatory. The next one is the type of footage. This helps me to quickly know whether that scene is just a text or should I record myself on camera. Is the scene a title or not, and etc. And lastly is the content or what I'm going to put in the scene. Next. I did face several difficulties and challenges during the process, uh, mainly from the research, because I use theories that I haven't even heard of before, that I did not understand at all in the beginning. I needed extra time to fully understand all of the theories I used in my analysis. So, because of that, in my individual learning sessions, I mostly used it to learn more about discourse and power knowledge. Also, I also tried my best to make sure that the application of the theories are correct. I did this by reading several other discourse analysis about similar dystopian novels. And after all of that, I try my best to put all of the information and all of the analysis in a coherent and understandable way, which is a little bit tricky because I need to manage the arrangement, I need to manage how I deliver the information in the video. But I hope if any of you is watching it, I hope it's understandable enough, even for those of you who are not familiar with the theories yet. Next slide. So after going through all of those process, if I'm asked as a reflection, why focus on language or discourse? What is exactly the importance of it? Well, in my opinion, it is important because it's relevant to the real world. Let's start with the genre dystopian fiction. Oftentimes, the stories in this genre act as social commentary. The oppressive acts in this kind of stories usually derives from the extremification of the negative parts that already exist in real life communities or society. So I believe that it did not come from nowhere. And so with language as medium of communication, it becomes something that can be easily manipulated by those who need or already have the power. So, by analyzing the language usage of a dystopian novel, in my case, it is The Giver, it can help me to notice how in real life, language and especially the information I got might also contain hidden meanings or hidden goals for certain groups of people. Next slide. So, like what Abrahani said, discourse and critical thinking are essential tools when it comes to securing progress in a democratic society. But in the end, unity and engaged participation are what make it happen. By being more aware of the discourses around us, it enables us to make more conscious decisions that can truly benefit us and not accidentally make decisions that are only beneficial for those who want to misuse their power. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Damai. Discussing about this literature and how literature give impact to the society. In my opinion, you, Damai, you don't look like a secondary student, but you look more like college students talking about a deep topic. That was
Thank you,
cool.
Miss. I tried my best to research fully, so yeah.
Yeah. So Damai, who guide you or who supervise you during this project?
The person who guides me is the program leader for English literature, which is Pak Hasan.
Okay, Pak Hasan ya. I think Pak Hasan is watching this session. Hello, Pak Hasan. Yeah. And what kind of guidance, suggestions, inputs that you receive during the process of creating this project?
For me, I think it's more about the guidance. So every week during the analysis duration, yeah, weeks, me and my friends have this meeting with Pak Hasan once a week to discuss about our progress. So that those meetings actually really helps me to stay on track, so I can make sure that I don't procrastinate on it.
Okay, okay, that was cool. Okay, thank you very much, Damai. For the next part, we will have Nadia Anjani with different topic also. Hello,
Hello,
yeah, how are you?
I'm good.
So, what are you going to talk about?
So I'm gonna talk about in the social studies program about the Hong Kong protest or a modern nation.
Okay, so time and place are welcome for you, Nadia.
Okay, thank you. Hello, my name is Nadia, and in this program of social studies, I'll be explaining about the Hong Kong protests or a modern nation. So I hope you can see my screen clearly. So a modern nation, if we think about it, it's about like how a nation is created and like those political system that was created in the revolutionary time after the World War, and it's a system felt just so hard to understand. But it's actually more than just a system, and it involves the citizens' mind and think. So the Hong Kong citizens has been raging about a mass protest calling off a proposed bill by the Hong Kong government, and it will be such a revolutionary protest once it ends. But why does that happen? So in this presentation, I'll be talking about a short history, starting from how the Hong Kong began, the system, which is Hong Kong's one country and two system policy, the protest itself, and also the learning points that I gained from the program. The short history. So Hong Kong actually start off with a war from Qing Dynasty against the Western power, which is British, from the time of 1839 until 1842, and then again at 1856 until 1860. And in conclusion, the Qing Dynasty, the last treaty was giving the new territories of Hong Kong Island to the British hands. This was the starting point of the Hong Kong's nation. So fast forward 99 years later, after the last treaty, in 1997, the British gave Hong Kong back to China. However, both sides agree about the country of using this policy of one country and two systems. Yeah, this is slide. Talking about the system itself, which is the one country and two system. For the first 50 years after 1997, the Hong Kong will get its own internal affairs, which is government, legislature, courts, and currency, while China gets to handle their foreign affairs, which is foreign affairs, defense, and defense matter. The system ensures that it will have a smooth transition before Hong Kong coming back to China. The system was created to respect the realities and the existing policies there. So actually, Hong Kong citizens themselves wanted to have Hong Kong as a whole nation and a system of the democracy. But this democracy system was under threat because the basic law of Hong Kong states that there will be no mainland officials that can get involved into the local government affairs. However, Beijing are accused of doing that. The first thing is seats are filled with pro-China or the legislative seats. The second is disqualification of pro-democracy lawmakers, which leads to the legislative seats to be more open to the pro-China lawmakers. And then bookseller harassment. This is actually connected with the protests because with the booksellers arrangement, they sold political rumored and gossipy books about Chinese leaders, and they were adopted and taken across the borders. This shows the changing environment that seems familiar to the mainland China. Here, the citizen burden is increased. The last but not least is the extradition bill, which was actually the main cause of the recent wilding protests. So the protest itself, the extradition bill was proposed so that the fugitive can be transferred between Taiwan, Macau, and mainland China. However, many citizens believe that the proposed bill with China can slowly lead to Hong Kong becoming controlled and taken by China. This leads to a massive protest calling to withdraw the extradition bill, but police violence was also the result of the citizen anger. So from 2019, the whole year was filled with riots. So the protest officially starts at May 15, 2019, but it started getting bigger on 12th of June 2019. In September 2019, the bill was finally cancelled by the Hong Kong's leader, Carrie Lam, since the huge protest is never seemingly coming to an end, and it's better to cancel the agreement. However, protest isn't stopping there. BBC states that they are calling for a greater democracy. So some learning points that I gained from the social studies program. So first off is actually the revolution itself. Revolution is one of the learning topics in term 3. We talk about how human minds and what they want, also the occurrence of this revolution and the impact of revolutionary. Through riots and protests, the freedom was all the Hong Kong citizen wants. We could also see freedoms in revolutions such as French, Russian, and many other. And then, of course, modern states, the importance and its system. We discuss about the characteristics, its importance, and simply how a nation is born. And last but not least, it's actually what I like the most in the subject, which is the history from the Black Death, Renaissance, and French Revolution. It may seem boring at first, but it is more than just reading and memorizing. We actually got to see a different side of the globe and how three of those events all relates and connects to humanism. And thank you so much for watching my presentation.
Okay, what a serious discussion, yeah, guys, from Nadia,
Yes.
but can still be engaging and interesting for us. By the way, Nadia, in completing this project, did you only fulfill the teacher's instructions to finish the task, or did you have any personal interest in the topic
So,
being discussed,
yes.
history and revolutions?
So actually, I picked this individual and societies program. It's because first off, I am really interested in history itself, and because the program was really entertaining and to watch, not only about memorizing, but also to get to see another side of the globe while learning about humanism itself.
Okay. In your opinion, what is the application of this topic, of learning this topic, history and revolutions, to our everyday life? Can
So
you maybe?
history and revolution, yes. So history and revolution can be actually applied to any of our daily activities. For
Yeah.
example, we can see like we need to understand different human perspective in like achieving a certain problem or a solution. With this revolution, it can actually happen again in next futures. And so it is important for us to understand, not memorize, actually really memorize, but understand.
Yeah. Okay. So don't memorize but understand. So we can
Yes.
connect what we are learning to our everyday life. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Nadia. For
Thank you.
everyone, yeah, you can ask questions to our speaker. Yeah, you may just write it down via comment section. You are welcome to ask questions. We still have our last speaker, Timur. Okay. Okay.
Udah,
Hello.
aku udah. Hello.
Hello, Timur. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm fine, thank you.
What are you going to talk about?
I'm going to talk about my project in the personal project program. It is about productivity through melodies and visuals.
Okay. Okay. So, time and place are welcome for you. Timur.
Excuse me?
Yeah, time and place are welcome for you.
Yeah. So yeah, my name is Samudra Timur, and first of all, thank you very much for coming to this event today, the Playground of Learning Journey. In the time that was given to me, I'm going to talk about the backgrounds, goals, motives, challenges, process, and reflections on the project about this project. And now I'm going to show you uh, the screen right now. Wait, okay, here you go. Productivity through melodies and visuals. So the background and parallel learning of this project. I've always been interested in music since I was a kid and got my own guitar. Well, when I was in grade school. Then a few years later, I found out about fingerstyle, a certain type of of guitar playing style where the guitar is all of the instruments. So the drums, the melodies, the bass are all from the guitar. And so I've been playing it about 3,000 hours till today, and that's why I've been thinking about making an instrumental song using only a guitar. And so here are my like more technical experience. I've been uh, I've been learning about music in Chicago's music program. I've also have experience on some DAW softwares. Those are softwares that are used to make like songs, to create songs, and also music score. If you have ever seen a piano, there's like the papers on it, and that is created using music score. Also, YouTube song covers and the video editing publication experience came from YouTube song covers. And so, introduction, goals, and motives. Why? Why am I doing this? In the pandemic, many people are getting less productive, and so am I. Since resources are limited, you can't really go anywhere, etc. Then I thought about bringing productivity as a topic. But of course, you cannot really be promoting productivity while not being productive to yourself. So I became more productive. I tried to become more productive by creating fingerstyle covers and posting them on social media. And so making me worthy enough for me to do something about this topic, which I did. And so I decided that I want to make something with limited amount of resources to show that the pandemic is not a reason to not be productive. And now the global context. The global context for this personal project was personal and cultural expression, because a song is one of the ways to express yourself personally and culturally. The challenge. Uh, First, before I even think about making this project, I have to think about the challenges that I have to overcome. First, I have never made an actual original song from scratch. And second, I don't have any decent equipment to record. So I have to know how to make sure to the product is in high quality in terms of production with these problems in mind. And so here comes the organizing. This is like the toughest part because I don't really like organizing stuff. But here you go. In this project, I learned new things about organizing, such as success criteria, a table to see how successful my project is. As you can see, there's like 5 bars, 5 rows to show like how successful my product is, and a weekly timetable to manage my time from January to March, throughout making this music, and file managements to organize the folders that I save, such as the audios, videos, and other stuff. And so the first process is to interview a prior interview. So I since I'm like a complete beginner in song creating, I need experienced people's opinions. And so here you go. A sound engineer from Nirmana Record, Bob Jumara, and Chika's music teacher, Ading Agusta. They are far more experienced than me, and so I came to them to ask for opinions and their perspective on this project. And so, in terms of production, I first whistled to the song like na 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 na, or something like that to create the notes, and immediately created the arrangements of it so that I do not forget. Then continuing it with writing it on a software where you can make music, so that I have like the notation papers, the papers you see on like the pianos and stuff. And when I finished the project, I then learned the song fully and played it multiple times so that I know how the song goes. After making sure I was ready, I recorded it on software and edited the audio using the equipments that I borrowed from another place. This is one of the ways that I overcame the challenge of not having a decent equipment. I try to find people who will lend me like their stuff, like their equipments, to create this project. And for lastly, to set the mood, I record the visuals and edited them to fit the song. And so the production was finished and the song was done. And here you go, the product. I published the song on social media, and on Instagram, it actually accumulated about 200 views. And for me, I'm happy about it, and I'm quite satisfied with it. Of course, I need to know if my product actually helps people. And so I interviewed and surveyed some of my best friends here. I'm the Carson Usanti. She's a singer, guitarist, archer, and an electrician. And Isham Nabil Umran, he's a gamer and a football player. So I'm going to show this song, but if you have any headphones, you can use them for a much better experience because it requires mixing and stuff. So there you're probably going to listen from your right ear and your left ear and stuff. And wait a second, and here you go. Hey, sorry, and here you go. The title is "A Search of a Freedom in an Isolation." This one is the unlisted version. So if you want to check like the posted version, you can check it on my Instagram crn.ig. Nah. Okay.
Okay,
And
do you
so
want? Yeah, okay, just continue, Kak.
oh yeah, and so yeah, this there was the project. There was the project that I made for the personal project, and yeah, and here comes the reflection, the last part of this presentation. So I felt satisfied with what I've made because I've successfully made a song from scratch. The flow of the song was very good. It has clean audio, various clips, and cinematic shots. The editing was, for me, interesting and aesthetically pleasing, and it highly helps people based on the interviews and surveys that I did. After finishing this project, I've come to realize that it is not what people think about how you express yourself through the things that you made, but it is what how you yourself think about the things that you made, and in the end it is a personal and cultural expression, so you don't need to worry about what people think, or what people think or interpret your work, and just express yourself through it. And so thank you very much for listening to my talk, and I wish you all a great day.
Okay. Wow, you look so passionate to this project, yeah, Timur. So everyone, Timur has a purpose to invite students to be more productive through music. Yeah. So Timur, do you have any previous experience in music, or where does your prior knowledge about
Okay.
music come from? Can you share it to us?
Mostly when I I really love like arranging like YouTube covers. So for example, if there was a song that was probably there was publicized on YouTube, I'm going to, if I like the song and it seems that it is easy, not easy, I mean like it's possible to make it a guitar version of it. Of course, I'm going to like arrange the song and try to play the song, posting it on YouTube or like Instagram and stuff. So mostly my experience came from that.
Okay. By the way, we have questions from the audience from Rexy. Thank you for the question. Question for Samudra Timur. I think there are some typos here, but we can still understand. Okay. What the reason Timur choose these presentations? Can he explain?
If you're talking like about the topic, I chose this topic as I said before. Many people are like using the pandemic. Even me, even myself, I felt lazy when pandemic started because school are just like a virtual. You just go to school from like your laptop, so you don't have to move anywhere, and and I think that is something that is not healthy, and I want more people to like try new things and stuff. For example, in terms of me, I try to make like an original song which I have never made before, and which I never did. And so, and that is why I just want people to be healthier and be more productive. And yeah.
Okay, so I agree with Timur, yeah, guys. Pandemic is not easy for everyone, so let's overcome it with joyful, what is it? Joyful ways such as creating songs. Okay, so Timur, do you want to continue your interest in music? Do you have any plans for your
uh
future
yeah.
maybe project?
Yeah. uh I'm really passionate about like guitar and like music. So if I have the chance to like add music to a project, of course I'm going to do it, because in this project I'm having so much fun like mixing the song and creating like the arrangements and stuff. It was a fun experience, even though like there are like some tough times because I was so busy with like other projects, like for example like the works, like school works, other school works and stuff. I'm still very much happy about what I'm doing.
Okay, so are you going to create another song next time?
Mostly, I plan mostly on making covers like YouTube, like song covers. So, and posting them probably on like Instagram or YouTube and stuff. And yeah, there is my plan like regarding music.
Okay, okay, that was wonderful. Okay, thank you very much, Timur.
Yeah, thank you very
Um,
much.
yeah. Okay, guys. So we have had Azilika Sarabeata with cikal aksi-aksi topik. Also Damai with literature topic. We also have had Nadia with individual and societies. The last is Timur with his first children. So we can see from their presentation, we can see that they are really enjoying their learning journey in Cikal. Is that right, guys?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So everyone, with that all, we have done presenting our journey in Cikal in the sessions Cikal Talk 29. Um, so thank you for all feedbacks from the audience. Thank you very much. We can cut all of the feedback. Okay, thank you very much. And I would like to remind that this event doesn't stop in the sessions. We are still going to have the next Cikal Talk session. Don't forget to watch the next and follow another activity in Cikal Playground of Learning Journey, such as a virtual gallery and fun activities. So we would like to say thank you one more time. Thank you very much for the audience. And see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Sambut mentari, nyalakan layar belajar lagi.
Sudah rindu kembali ke sekolah, tak sabar ingin segera bertemu lagi. Meskipun jauh namun di hati, tawa candamu selalu temani. Meski tak langsung menatapmu kawan, semangat belajarku takkan pernah padam. Walau hanya di rumah saja, takkan padam semangat di jiwa. Perjalanan yang ku lalui, kan ku bagi kisahnya denganmu nanti. Na na